guys, Holding Everthing here, bringing you Fairytail 100-Year Quest manga review. This was chapter 22, titled Everything Must Be There. This was a very intense chapter, very emotional. We thought with that body slam from last week that Natsu had put down the water god dragon. We found out that he's still standing, and they continue in their scuffle, and he starts to breathe in like a lot of air, and his gland starts to spit out, and he fires this high pressure water beam, and Natsu does this awesome Kamehameha wave of fire, and a fireball comes out and it goes right through the water, vaporizing it until it hits him in the throat and burns him, and then he tips over and falls. And he says something to his group, saying, "Thanks to y'all, I couldn't beat the Actilogia alone. You're my friends. Come on, everyone, let's, attack him together." So they all start attacking his legs to, immobilize him. And while this is going on, Natsu's facial expression is looking meaner and meaner. And when they finally put him down and he's, knocked unconscious, not knocked unconscious, but he's down because he can't move because of his legs, Natsu, they show a close-up of him, and he has, the evil face still, but even worse now, like he really wants to kill him. And he states, "It's not done yet. Everything must burn. I must burn him down to the core." And everyone is like, "Natsu, stop." And Natsu gets very, very close, and he's about to land that finishing blow on the water god dragon. Luckily, Lucy steps in, and she grabs him from the back, and she hugs him, embraces him, and she's like, "Natsu, calm down, please. It's over. There's no more." And she starts crying when she's saying this, and everyone else is the background shocked, and they're crying too, especially Happy. And then we get the ending panel where Natsu is just there with his arms down hanging, and Natsu himself is scared. That's how powerful Natsu was. Natsu was so powerful at that moment, he scared himself. You have to imagine how powerful you have to be for you to scare yourself. I mean, this is a man who's got different power-ups through the series, done amazing feats, has done some incredible things, but always laughed it off in the end, no matter how upset he was or how mean he got. But this time, it was on a whole nother level, because he was about to break that one rule of Fairytail, and that is their main iron rule, not to kill, because the Fairytail Guild do not kill. That's one of their main rules, their number one main rule, and he was about to break it. Not to mention how greedy and obsessed he was with actually wanting to take down the water god dragon. That was the end of the chapter. Him scared. And I want to mention a couple of things because a lot of people have already did reviews on this, and mine is probably going to come out late. If it's not going to come out late on Tuesday when the chapter got released early, then it'll probably be out early Wednesday. But there's something a lot of people did not notice. In the end of the chapter, when Natsu's just on the floor on his knees with his arms out like this, and Lucy's behind him hugging him, if you look at that panel very well, Lucy looked like she got burned. She was hugging Natsu and her face was on his back, but her face, they after she hugged him, they're not showing the side of her face. Now, I'm not that sure if that's an error in drawing, why they're not showing that side, because she's hugging him like this, or Natsu actually burned Lucy. Because remember, Lucy last chapter in the end was scared of Natsu. She said something is wrong with Natsu, and she was the first one to catch that. And this time, she was the first one to catch Natsu and stop him with that embrace. So we don't know what's going on with Natsu. Not to mention, another thing I want to mention that a lot of people are not talking about is Natsu's hands and feet. When Natsu became that humanoid demonic dragon that he is, he was growing the fire, hands and feet. If you look at his hands and feet, they look shot. I'm not sure if any of y'all are like me, ex-Hunter fans, but y'all remember when Gon's hands was completely shot from when he was fighting Bomber? Well, that's exactly what Natsu's hand looked like. It looked like he literally got his hand blown off. There's flesh and meat coming down from both his arms. His arms look done. Wendy's a very powerful healer and enchanter, but I don't think she has nothing in her arsenal to fix that. And if that happens to his arms, you have to imagine, since his legs had black flames and was encoded in those flames as well as his arms, they probably should as well. So, the only way I see Natsu getting out of this and going through this trauma and getting out of this trauma, if the water god dragon gets up next chapter and snaps out of it and gets his conscience back, and he ends up sacrificing his life to heal Natsu, or if he has some type of holy water magic to heal Natsu. I could imagine either or of the situation happening. I mean, the main point is for all of the dragons to die, but let's be honest, this is Fairy Tail. I highly doubt it if they die. They'll probably all become good and become Natsu's friend or something. I know that probably sounds kind of cheesy, but that's just how Fairy Tail is. Love it or hate it. But I can see either of those two things happening. Either the water god dragon sacrificed himself for Natsu to get healed, or he has some high level healing magic he can use on him, like holy water or something. But yeah, this was a great chapter. Very insane. Seeing Natsu shook of his own power, that is very rare. Actually, the same shook face that he had this chapter, was actually the same face he had when he was fighting Gildart, and Gildart showed him his power. So, Gildart showed him, I believe the manga stated 100% of his power, or 80%, something like that. And then he had that shook face. And then later on, we saw him crying in the corner. Well, it looked like that's the same face Natsu have again now, from his own power, his own fear. And it could be two things. He could either be scared of his own power, or he could be scared of his own dragon abilities, per se. Maybe if it's finally caught on to him that his Dragon Slayer ability is meant to kill, and they can do heavy damage if he's not controllable of his emotions. Maybe that's finally sinking into Natsu after all these years. They can play that basic trope. Oh, I didn't realize how powerful and dangerous my power is. Now I have to control myself. And through that control, he gets some more power up. They can go with that route too. Basic cliche in shonen anime, but shonen anime that is. But yeah, this was a great chapter, chapter 22. Burn everything on Fairy Tail, 100-year quest. Really great chapter, really great stuff. I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions, so please comment down below. Follow me on Twitter, the link will be down below. But that's all I have for you guys. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Share with your family and friends. Please don't forget to hit the notification bell to get notified whenever I post or upload. That's all I have for you guys. Peace out and have a good one.